Welcome to American Dealmaker. After the episode, it's your turn. Welcome to the American Dealmaker podcast, where ideas that push the envelope come to you, the Dealmakers. Startups in San Francisco come to shake things up. Thank you to our sponsor, WeFunder, for making this podcast possible. I'm your host, Constance, founder and Dealmaker. And today we have a guest Dealmaker in the deal room, Nune, advisor and consultant to startups in the San Francisco Bay Area and the host of Morning Tech Brew. In the deal room today we have Shardul, founder of ConverseCart, an AI startup based in San Francisco. After today's episode, head on over to Twitter to vote on if the startup is a big break or a big mistake. Find out if Shardul has a deal. Let's go to the deal room. Welcome to the deal room.
Hi everyone.
Hey.
Nune, I want to start by introducing you as our guest Dealmaker. It's really exciting to get you on the podcast, first of all, because you lead such a busy schedule, and so even you being here today is really huge. I think the audience is going to really benefit from being able to hear your perspective on startups, because that's really your skill set and such a valuable thing for me, always hearing your startup tips for founders, because I am an attendee of your Morning Tech Brew. I want to give the audience an overview to introduce you. Tell us about what you do in your advisor and consulting, and also with Morning Tech Brew.
First of all, it's a big pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation. I'm looking forward to hear more about your company and what you're building. I'm a consultant by day, and I do organize meetups for founders. I like bringing people together from different industries, and a friend of mine and I, we do the coffee meetups every Thursday morning. Morning Tech Brews by Atlas, where people come together and talk about what they're building, their challenges, and share ideas and perspectives. Regarding my consultancy and advisory, I do help early stage founders and help them through -1 to the launch, and even sometimes with the fundraising challenges they are experiencing. So that's me.
I love it, and it's going to be so amazing to see your perspective today as a guest Dealmaker. Thank you for coming on the podcast today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. I feel like we've gotten to know each other as founders because we share a workspace. I have been able to go along with some of the ups and downs, and you're always working. So I think being able to learn where you're at today and learn about how you got to where you're at today is going to be really exciting for the audience as well. Now that you're in the deal room, I would love to start off with telling us about ConverseCart. I know that you guys have built out some amazing things and are already serving customers, which is awesome. Give us your high-level pitch.
Thanks for such amazing words, Constant. And I see you two working really hard every day. So we share the same journey. ConverseCart, it's a multimodal search engine. So think of it like if you have images, semantic text, and keywords, and you want to search on all of that through a single query, you can do that. That's it. How it started? We started as conversational search agents for e-commerce, and when we were serving to the customers, we went live and realized the bottleneck was search wasn't good, and any existing search solution wasn't good enough. So I started iterating and reading a lot of research papers and implementing new techniques. And as I iterated and made progress and improvements to search, realized that the market for multimodal search is much bigger market than just the search agents. And as we started building, we started getting more and more interest from not just e-commerce but diverse applications. So that's what we are. Multimodal search.
Amazing. Let's start with some questions. And I know that you've given us a lot of information. I think you being focused on search is huge. You're doing something that no one else is doing with your image recognition. Can you tell us how the customers use your product?
Yeah, sure. So our search is completely different from Google search or any other searches, because Google is searching on internet. We are searching on your own knowledge base. So for example, like e-commerce, you have a catalog of, let's say, 30,000 products, and you want to search on, like, you don't want to manually tag each image, and tagging has its limitations, so you use our search, which natively searches on all the modalities to find accurate results. So yeah, that is how our customers are using it. We have an e-commerce, we have a social media startup that's building their social media app using our search, because social media also has multimodal needs. It's a founder from Stanford, and then other, so like there's like diverse applications you can use multimodal search for. You can use it for RAG as well. That's what I've seen. I go to hackathons and I've seen people use it to build their RAG systems for GPT-4. There is no other multimodal search solution like currently in the market. So yeah.
Amazing.
How does it work in terms of you install it and then it can work?
So
On the previous knowledge, online and offline.
So you upload your catalog or your data as a JSON on our platform, and you upload it. It will index, our algorithms will index it, and then you can start searching using the API. We have integrations with popular platforms like Shopify and WooCommerce, but I'm building more soon with Llama Index and LangChain as well. But yeah, it's just like API. You just call the API and start searching.
Awesome.
How long have you been doing this?
9 months.
9 months. And when did you start generating profits?
Around last month.
Congratulations.
For people who are less technical, that maybe need a simpler explanation, can you give us a 5th grade level understanding of what your product does and what the customer is using it for?
Yeah, sure. So let's say you have 100, let's talk about an e-commerce application, and you have 100 products, and these products just have images and a simple title. The image may be of shoes, and the title says the classic runner. It doesn't explain anything about the product or how it looks. Now they want to search for white shoes with red stripes. They haven't tagged it manually, and they can use our search to search on it. That's it.
You talked earlier that there is nothing compared in the market to this. How are you sure? Did you do the research?
Yeah, I did the research. I tried finding, because I had the problem and I was trying to find a solution for me. If there was, I would have used it. Even now, like, there is none, and the need is like getting, like, as GPT-4 like applications are coming, people are doing multimodal RAG, but there is no multimodal search for that. So there's like more and more, like, companies.
What's your ideal customer profile?
Ideal customer profile, we started with e-commerce, but I have seen interest from like developers and software applications. I am recently like talked with a person who was building a job platform, and they were looking for search solutions for their job, like for helping recruiters find perfect candidates. And I just showed it to them, not expecting them to be a customer, but just because it's a product I love. And they were like, this is exactly what I need. And so they just like implemented there and then. And also, yeah, e-commerce are like, like they do need a lot of search, and we do that. So yeah, so it's like e-commerce and RAG developers and software enterprise applications.
Now I'm thinking there's a problem. I'm just trying to think this through, because the problem is that not enough stores are using your product. What is your go-to-market plan? Tell me what that looks like.
Yeah, no, sure. So we have been talking to a lot of brands in my network. So just to like direct outreach, but also I have a lot of relationships with people who are building like software for e-commerce, like e-commerce brands. If you wanna sell, if you have a better pipe, you sell it to the like the construction company, the contractors. Homeowners don't know the difference between a better pipe. So we do have the ROI results, but also like the developers understand it more, and we can, talk with them and get more people to start using it.
Between you and I would love to start asking and learning a little bit more about your journey as an entrepreneur. What motivates you to keep going as a founder?
I just like building things and solving problems, and I just love helping end users and just iterating and building something of tangible value, and I can obsess over it. So like I wake up with the problem and I sleep on the problem, so just like do it every day. That's like what keeps me going, and that's what's most rewarding for me, just like being able to do it every day.
You also talked about the period of focus for your business. So you started building, then you moved to sales. How do you stay productive? How do you prioritize what needs to get done?
Yeah, so I feel I'm good at organizing things, so I can't do multiple things at once. So I need a structure and framework to tell me what I need to do now. So I do that extensive planning to tell me like, okay, what is the goal this quarter, what is the goal this month, and break it down into specific tasks, like micro tasks.
One more question. A lot of listeners, they want to start their own business, they've got the skills, but they don't know where to start. What would your advice be to someone building a business?
I would say just start. Because you can think on when to start, what to start on, but once you start solving anything or just start doing anything, maybe talking to a customer, just penning it down, you will make mistake, but fixing that mistake is also another problem. So the more problems you solve, the more you will progress, and eventually you will get there.
Get out there, speak to a customer.
Yeah.
That's great advice. The first thing that you do could be a conversation. It could be jotting things down.
Yeah, it could
So
be
there's a
talking
lot.
to your friends, writing things down on paper, what I need to do, and then do that tomorrow.
Yeah, I
Today.
love that. I love that. Well, I think that your story is super inspiring. You have such a unique technical skill set. This is such a unique application for AI that it's almost surprising that it doesn't exist, and you've actually created the solution here. So I am seeing confetti. I'm seeing confetti. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else does our audience need to know to find out if this is a big break or a big mistake?
You said there is no competition or any other companies not doing this, but what if they find this out, that this is an interesting idea, and they start copying it? What's your defensibility?
So there's like a lot of technical challenges you need to solve in order to build this, and I've seen startups focus more on agents and LLM these days.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to get actually experiment inside the model more than building wrappers. So I think and just like, yeah, it's like so many problems to solve. So if someone is able to solve it, that's great.
Right,
It's
right.
like, but yeah, like no one is solving it just because like I feel like there's so many things that needs to be solved in so many layers that it's like too much to do sometimes. But yeah, we just need to keep on solving things like really fast and just iterating. And sometimes some things works, and yeah, like knowledge as well. Yeah.
Because of your dedication to being a founder, I think that we need to cut you a break. I think that you got a break right here.
I like
This is
that.
just a little, yeah, this is just a little
Okay.
thing we do. And it looks like we've got a bit of ourselves too. I'm glad that we were able to get somewhat technical with you, really kind of hear your differentiators. And like I said, I think that this is a really fantastic startup. I see so many use cases for different businesses, for your clients, and like you said, you've already got initial traction. That's great for you as an early stage founder, and I'm excited to see where your journey takes you. I think we've gotten through a really great overview for the audience, for the deal makers. After the show, we can head over to Twitter and vote if it's a big break or a big mistake. And I want to thank you both for coming on today. I want to thank you for being really transparent about what you're building, where you started, and what you're doing with ConverseCart. And I want to thank you for your amazing Dealmaker questions. I think you really came through as a guest Dealmaker. Those hot seat questions, as well as I think it's great to be able to see how you work with founders, and there's definitely a lot of takeaways, I think, from this conversation from both you guys, so I appreciate it so much.
Thank you for the invitation. It was a pleasure here, and it was a pleasure learning more about you and being part of this amazing show.
Awesome. Thank you.
Those were some wonderful questions both of you asked, and I appreciate you inviting me here.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, you didn't seem stressed during the questions, so it was good to see you were able to handle the...
Oh yeah, no, I'm confident in the product and
Yes.
That's why.
Yeah.
We can
Well,
see that.
we definitely feel that. Thank you to our guest Dealmaker. Thank you to Shardul. Thank you to Jamari behind the camera.
And thank you, Constance.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. This was really fun.
This was a lot of fun.